Right there, welcome back to the channel. We are back in action this weekend. FA Cup action, best cup in the world, in my opinion, at least anyway. And it's Fulham. And I'm worried, to be honest with you. We are the defending champions of the trophy, desperate to retain this title as a bit of a lifeline in a turbulent season. Premier League form is it's crap. We've won 2 of just the last 5, and top 4 hopes are gone, aren't they? Fulham are in right form, unbeaten in their last 5 across all competitions. That was including a 2-0 FA Cup 4th round win over Wigan, and a mid-table position that suits what Marco Silva's doing in terms of progress. For United, it's a chance to try and get some pride and maybe a little bit of momentum at Old Trafford, where we've been poor. And that's what worries me coming into this game. For Fulham, it's an opportunity to maybe upset the form book a little bit, get United out of the cup, and reach the quarterfinals for only the second time in 8 seasons. Now, how do they play? Under Silva, it's a 4-2-3-1 base formation, morphs into a 2-3-5 or a 3-2-5 shape in possession. Back 4 often features someone that was on United's radar, or at least he was on my radar for United, in Anthony Robinson at left back. You got Tete or Castagna at right back, and a centre-half pairing of Bassi and Anderson, which works well, and it works in tandem with the double pivot in midfield, which has usually got Lukic or Sander Berg in there doing all right. Bern Leno in net, big role in distribution. They go short rather than trying to smash it. They like to try and keep it nice and tidy and then play through the thirds. In that phase, someone like Robinson is a bit of a standout for him. He pushes high on the left, gives them width, whilst the right back tends to tuck in slightly, allowing for a winger or attacking midfielder, generally Iwobi, to drift inside. One of the pivots, and it's usually Berg, drops deeper to collect the ball from the defence and drop in to make almost like a back three. And it does give them a bit of numerical superiority building up against an opposition press. Then you've got the likes of Andreas Pereira, who we should know well, operates in the 10, drops in to the pivot alongside Lukic to overload that midfield area and help Fulham build progression. In a final third, you'll see them thriving on both fluidity and quick transitions. The 4-2-3-1 shifts into, like we said, a 3-2-5 formation. They fill every single channel. Robinson acts almost like a winger on the left, and Iwobi will cut inside on the right. And you got the front three, which will be Jimenez, Muniz, and even Nelson or Wilson, making intelligent runs. Pereira's movement in between the lines is what links and knits the play together, and he looks to try and create space for others. Silva seems to really emphasise going vertical, a hallmark of what he does as a coach, rather than relying on sustained possession. They build up nice through the thirds, but they don't sort of try and go for 20-25 passes to move the opposition into certain areas. They look to try and push it through the thirds, not direct, but they're not slow in getting the ball forward either. They're going to look to try and exploit spaces. They're going to be deliberate as they break the lines. They go for crosses. Historically, it's a bit of a strength under Silva, and they rank very high when it comes to cross volume in past seasons. They've got a bit of an absence of a real dominant aerial presence like they used to have with Mitrovic. You know, they come towards being players that can play with their feet a little bit better in the final third than they could when it was Mitrovic. But the team's attacking output is still strong. The likes of Robinson overlaps, stretches opposition backlines. You've got Iwobi cutting inside and drifting, creating inward movement. He overloads centrally. He links up really well with Pereira, and they're going to be a threat. Off the ball, you'll see a 4-4-1-1 or a 5-4-1 sort of shape. Really wants to go pragmatic, really wants to defend. And it's a bit of a counterbalance for what they do with the ball. So as they're putting 5 forward, that requires the opposition to drop someone back. Everyone's kind of trying to play like a 3-2-5 at the moment. So they're already putting 5 in there and going man for man across the back line. His pressing isn't overly aggressive. Fulham tend to let you have the ball a little bit, but they absolutely deny space and they absolutely block And as soon as the ball comes into their final third, they will swarm the ball carrier, cut off passing lanes, force turnovers, and then they'll look to try and break quickly. You know, they're very good in the transition, and that worries me because, well, just everything about United worries me at the moment. We're just not good in any real area. It's absolute graft. In terms of the star man, I think Alex Iwobi, 10 goals and assists in the league this season. He is their most important player. He's their most important player when it comes to transitions. He's got fantastic ball carrying ability, and I think he's a really intelligent footballer that has improved and carries a lot of tactical burden for someone like Silva. For United, again, it's fairly straightforward, but I went with Casemiro in midfield. High though, so not normally where you see Casemiro. I've gone with him a little bit higher to see if you can get him on the end of stuff. That could also be Eriksen. And I think Eriksen probably suits the position more, but I wanted Casemiro in there because of set pieces, but also because I think he's still got a lot to offer as long as he's not relied upon to be that kind of single pivot. I wouldn't mind United transitioning from a 3-4-3 almost to a 3-5-2 and having a midfield three. And I think a midfield three of Ugarte, Bruno, Casemiro could be quite effective. I'll go for the team. Yoro, Maguire, De Ligt in front of Onana. Mazraoui and Dalot at the fullback because we've got no Dorgu. Ugarte and Bruno as the pivot. Casemiro, Xerxes behind Hojlund. I don't want to play Hojlund. I just don't think Garnacho's going to play after his little outburst the other night. So I think that'll be the team. It could be Eriksen in for Casemiro. They would fulfill a similar role. I'm looking for someone to attack in the final third. And a match winner, I think, will be Xerxes for United. He can disrupt the mid-block that Fulham are going to play. He's starting to look a little bit better physically, to be honest with you. This run of games that he's been on means that his fitness is improving. He's even shown a little bit of a burst of pace. Not too much, but a little bit of a burst of pace. Feels like a goal is around the corner from him. Hopefully that can be tomorrow. He's got really intelligent movement. We just need some better runs off him. I'm not sure Hojlund is that man, but there's also not a million other options. So maybe he can link with Casemiro a little bit. And as always, this video is brought to you by our friends at Hollywood Bets, and there's another exciting boosted bet for this FA Cup showdown between United and Fulham. Both teams want to progress. I expect a quite intense battle at Old Trafford. So here's the pick that I'm going for. Both teams to score. I'm going for over 8.5 corners, and I'm going for 1+ shot on target for Garnacho and Raul Jimenez. And I'm going for Sanderberg to be carded. That was 20-1. It's been boosted to 25-1. So if you stick a tenner on that, you could win 260 quid back. And if you'd like to get involved, just click the link in the description. If you are new to Hollywood Bets, then you can create an account and take advantage of all their excellent customer offers, which are also linked in the description below. Odds are subject to change. You must be 18 to participate. Remember, football is unpredictable and the bet is designed to enhance your viewing experience and certainly no guarantee of a win. For more information on responsible gaming, please check out begambleaware.org. So how'd you beat them? Well, Fulham have got a bit of an over-reliance on creating wide. They look to go wide and they look to cross. Robinson is probably their biggest offensive threat in a lot of games. Central part of the team can be a bit more defensive-minded, and they look to spin it out wide early doors. If you can block and anticipate that pass, you stand a bit of a decent chance. Secondly, Calvin Bassey has a massive weakness when it comes to their build-up play. He should be a pressing trigger. You should leave him and press him. He is not comfortable in the build-up, and he has got a mistake in him. And because they're going to go short, you should gamble on it. Thirdly, defensive solidity on the right-hand side. Iwobi and Robinson will push up. You're going to have to squash what they're doing down their left, our right. So I think, Euro has had some difficult defensive games. I think if it's Mazraoui alongside him, should be okay. But, you've got to be aware of that's where the threat's going to come from for Fulham. Anyway, that's how I see the game going. Hopefully it's a win. We need some positivity, don't we? Not just a win, but a good performance as well. We really, really desperately need that. I can't sit here after another shit performance when we've gone through and be like, right, yeah, well, we're through, but that was boring, wasn't it? Can we have a good performance? Can I have a player? Can Chido come on and score a goal? Something like that. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Let's have something positive happen. See you after the game. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.